Hey guys, it's Hink here. As promised on my last hot takes video, I said if we got that video to 300, we would do a part 2. You guys absolutely loved that video. I really appreciate it. We're gonna do this part 2 right now. Just very quickly, guys, by the time this video airs, I'm gonna be at 10,000 subs. Which I know it's not a lot for YouTube, Mr. Beast standards, but that's tremendous for me. I really appreciate you guys tuning in and leaving nice comments or just any comments. Thank you. That being said, let's get right into it on Reddit, okay? If you guys are ever interested in participating, number one, you can leave your hot takes on YouTube when I say, hey, leave it in the comments. In this video right here, you can leave your hot takes, or you could actually join us on r/gettingbigger, okay? The first one, Mogger Lover. It says additional cardio isn't really necessary if you work out, weightlifting regularly, and walk at least 10K steps a day. That's an interesting take, okay? I believe the average steps an American takes is 3,000 steps a day, which is maybe 1.5 miles, something like that. Fact check me on that, guys, okay? What you're proposing is basically over 3 times as much. 10,000 steps is a lot of steps, guys. That's a lot of cardio. Yeah, I think that's kind of a, no, I think that's a pretty solid take. The one thing about cardio is that, you know, there's different zones of cardio. Zone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, basically based on different things, including basically your heart rate, okay? I recommend zone 2 cardio where you're, at least zone 2 cardio where you're getting your heart rate up. If you're just leisurely walking throughout the day and your heart rate never gets that elevated, it's not quite the same thing as doing a more intense cardio session where you're zone 2, 3, or 4, or especially even something like the HIIT cardio. I mean, yes, if we're talking about body habitus and just burning calories, I think that's a pretty good take. But if we're talking about things, you know, maybe cardiovascular health, maybe things EQ, I think that's more of a neutral take. Overall, good take. Here's the next one from Is It Big Yet? Pumping with a C-ring is logically the best way to pump. The main goal is to increase internal force, so I focus only on external negative pressure. Get 10 out of 10 erection, add C-rings for more expansion, then a few inches of mercury for vacuum. I'm not saying go in with -5 inches of mercury. Of course, too much is too much, but demonizing combining this method is just misguided in my opinion. Reasonable take to start. Here is this case report, which I always refer to. And guys, there's a paucity, meaning there's not much data in PE in general, okay? But in this case report, this guy used a vacuum device, he used a pump, and he had a constriction ring around his member, and he caused permanent penile fibrosis and erectile dysfunction from using a combination of the two. To me, that is published medical literature saying, hey, you should not do this, because specifically in that case report, they talk about how it created way too much pressure, which was the problem. Now, that being said, was it because he pumped up too quickly and it causes too dramatic of a pressure change? Or what was the culprit? All I know is that in that case report, they said that combining the two, in this case, led to erectile dysfunction and fibrosis. Therefore, I never recommend that. Now, what you're saying, very logical. I mean, that's a very reasonable take. I think the key thing that you mentioned is not going crazy with the pressure. I would definitely, right now, my recommendation is somewhere between usually 10, maybe even as high as 12 inches of mercury. But if you were going to use a constriction ring, I would say limit it to at most probably 6 to 8 inches of mercury. That being said, I still would never combine the two. I would never recommend anybody combine the two, just because, once again, published data showing, or published case reports showing permanent damage. I think what you're saying is reasonable, but once again, I think that that's bad advice, and I think that's increasing your risk of injury, and I just don't think it's worth it. So your take is pumping with the C-ring is the best way to pump. I think that's a bad take. Once again, your take is reasonable. That's just, I think that's a bad take, okay? And here's kind of a pretty interesting follow-up question. It's from Simtech7. We frown upon pumping with a C-ring, but using a seal sleeve is recommended. That's part 1. He talks about some other things. Quite honestly, I had to look up exactly how a seal sleeve works, because I don't use a seal sleeve, okay? I never have. I don't pump. Let me just be America, listen, okay? Let me be very clear. I will never pump with any kind of constriction device around my member, okay? You guys are probably too young to remember Bill Clinton, but anything that is going to cause additional pressure to build up in your phallus while you are applying external pressure, I think is a very bad idea, okay? This is not me trying to throw shade, but I think there's a very prominent member of the PE community that sells these clamps with a built-in pump. You're clamped and pumped. I think that is literally one of the worst things that I've seen. I mean, hey, if it works, it works. This is just my opinion, guys. Also, this is going to be the first and the last time that I say this, okay? Guys, these are all my opinions, okay? Based on my research and what I think. I am not saying I am right. I am not saying I am the definitive expert and this is the final answer. This is my video on my opinions on these takes, okay? Do your own research. Figure out what works for you. That being said, I don't recommend a seal sleeve. Okay, I've never used one. I think you're right. There's not much difference between using a tight little narrow cylinder on a seal sleeve and using a constriction ring. I mean, that is absolutely hypocrisy to say, oh, don't use a constriction ring, but a seal sleeve is okay. No, I mean, it's functionally essentially the same thing, okay? Yeah, that's a double thumb up. Great take, man. You know, I might even give a third thumb up there for that one because that's a hot take that kind of goes against convention. Yeah, really that take, man. Very good. Take 2 is fire goat rolls don't do much. For those that don't know what a fire goat roll is, basically you take your jimmy and you kind of rub it this in between sets where you're doing any kind of girth work that might lead to hemosiderin staining or discoloration of your member. If you don't know what hemosiderin staining is, please see my video on basically why PE causes discoloration. In theory, that technique will help to kind of help redistribute the blood that has accumulated from the pressure, and it can limit the discoloration. And he's saying in this fire goat rolls don't do much. Yeah, I agree. I think that's actually a good take, okay? I mean, I think it's a good practice. I think just by general massaging that area can help to recover blood flow and help you recover from whatever you're doing. Could it maybe cause a little bit of prevention of discoloration? Yeah, but in general, it's not enough to offset what you're doing with PE. I don't think you could do fire goat rolls for 10 hours a day. If you're pumping, if you're clamping, you're still gonna get discoloration. So yeah, man, great take. This is a preliminary Golden Hink Award for the best take of the night. Here's one from Vastor, okay? It says, I'd be interested in your take of the studies of women who can get over the top from basically just penetration alone, and whether I think these studies have any issues as far as contributing factors, female death grip, lousy partners, hookup culture, not having consistent partners. In general, I mean, the data are what the data are. Here's a paper showing that from just penetration alone, getting over the top for women is typically about 20 to 30%. I think that data is accurate, but I think it's accurate because of all of the things that you mentioned. I think that, and this isn't just me thinking, there's data showing that women, some women, not all, okay, thrive based on, especially an emotional connection to the men that they are being intimate with. Yeah, if it's hookup culture and you're not establishing a connection, you don't know, hey, what is she, what tempo, pace, whatever. Yeah, it's going to decrease rates of. There's a good number of people on this subreddit that are actually in monogamous or semi-monogamous or at least long-term relationships that have had time to figure out their partners, guys. So, I mean, personally, do I think that those like, percentages are correct? Yeah, in general. I think that is accurate. I think that was your question of the take. That was more of a question, not a hot take. Yeah, neutral. Here's one from Middle Fox. This guy's actually one of the new moderators on r/gettingbigger. So things are going to get spicy here, okay? Someone should avoid hopping on TRT until after they have optimized basically everything. Guys, it's been too hard of a week and a weekend for me to go full-blown hot take here. But I mean, this is one of my pet peeves, besides these kids getting on my lawn. Get off my lawn. This whole younger generation that just wants every kind of shortcut. These 20-year-old dudes that are, my testosterone isn't 900 nanograms per milliliter. I need to hop on gear. I don't feel good. And meanwhile, there's these guys that, oh, my test is low. I don't understand why. I mean, I sit on the couch and watch Netflix and then I eat McDonald's and then I don't work out and I get poor sleep and I'm up at night gaming and I have a poor circadian rhythm. I don't know why my testosterone is off. I mean, yes, you should absolutely maximize absolutely everything that can affect your test. I made a whole video, guys, on testosterone, okay? If you want to see the things that boost testosterone and the things that can reduce testosterone, check that out. For brevity's sake, I'm going to leave it at that. But yes, you're exactly right. And also, guys, that's part of why I developed Vitality here. Personally, based on proven science for how to improve your testosterone levels on Leviathan Subs if you're interested, leviathansubs.com. I'm gonna skip some of these ones that we've kind of already covered just for time's sake as well. He says, you should educate yourself on PE before starting. It leaves you prone to mistakes that you wouldn't have made if you would just research and educate yourself. Once again, dude, you're trying to trigger me with these goddamn kids with their goddamn skateboards. But But yeah, you're right. You know, people hop on, and you know, I'm no exception, guys. Derek made a video, and he was, "Hey guys, PE actually works," and I was, "Wait, what? It works?" Online, ordered my product, and got started the next day without really, and that's not entirely true. I did do a semi-deep dive into best techniques and stuff. Then I found the subreddit for the product that I ordered, and then I found a Jelq for you, and then I found Getting Bigger. Well, but back then, Getting Bigger at 500 members of it, but whatever. Yes, absolutely. That's a good take. This is where things are going to get very spicy, and I'm probably going to unintentionally offend some people here, okay? Number 5, okay, if you're doing extensive PE, you should have your other areas of your life taken care of first. Too many people focus on PE and are yet obese, out of shape, financially struggling, health issues, etc. Focus on bettering yourself and your life first, or at the least do it simultaneously with your PE journey, okay? I know I gave Simtex the last Golden Hink Award. This gets another Golden Hink Award because this is the epitome of it. One of my hot takes, and I actually made a post about this the other day, is, guys, if you're doing PE, maybe you should work on actually shrinking your waist before you try to enlarge your member because of all of the different reasons. This is true. For me, I was thinking about this. My size was causing me so much dysmorphia and so many problems. Now here I am, oh, look at me, I'm Hink, I'm great, I'm amazing. But it's, guys, I've always been in shape, okay? And when I started this, I was 6'5", 225, okay? You can't do anything about your height, okay? But I was tall, I was built, I had low muscle mass. I was an established physician making very good money. I know, oh, I'm out here flexing on all you guys. I have a beautiful, significant other. I speak multiple languages. Sí, hablo español también. The only thing that was missing, that was causing me, and that's part of why I tried to maximize all these things, because quite honestly, there was this void, there was this insecurity in me, because no matter how high I achieved, no matter what I did, there was still that piece missing. Let me list my credentials, but I'm the chairman of medicine for my hospital system. Anyways, enough. The point is, I had already maximized everything I could possibly be, in my opinion, and then I found this, and this was the icing on the cake, and that's why I feel my life has been changed much, because that was what was missing. That was causing me all these problems. Guys, if you are obese, okay, and you lose 30 pounds, okay? I wasn't even that obese, and I lost 30 pounds, and, you know, I'll try to have my editor put up a picture of my before and after, and it literally changed my life. It changed my confidence. When I would walk around the hospital, people, oh man, you're looking good. Have you lost weight? You feel better. Your junk proportionally looks bigger because you've lost so much weight. It bothers me on a visceral level. It really, really bothers me that there's so many obese people on this subreddit. And it also bothers me, you know, spicy here, that people don't fully understand body fat percentages, but that's neither here nor there, okay? But yes, you need to improve your life first and then let this be the icing on the cake. No girl or guy, potentially, is gonna wanna get with you if you are obese and unemployed and, you know, don't take care of yourself, guys. So yeah, absolutely. I wish I had more hands. I could give this comment 4 thumbs up. Here's one. Elastics, I guess. Guys that are 7+ don't need PE. So reasonable take, very reasonable take, because not only is that, I'd say in general, this is a good take, okay? Because in general, that's at least a full standard deviation bigger than what the average size is. By every definition, that is big if you are 7. Once again, I'm trying to circle back, but there was a guy on this subreddit, and he at least claimed that he was 9 inches, but yet he didn't feel big. And I was, dude, that's bullshit. There's no way you're 9 inches and you don't feel big. And he was, oh, well, I had a 3-inch fat pad. I have a 3-inch fat pad. He was very obese. Oh, well, dude, there you go. Not only are you know, I'm not fat shaming, guys. It's not healthy to be obese. I don't care. It's not healthy to be obese, okay? Love yourself. Love yourself to frickin' do something about it, okay?
Hey, yo, bro, what's wrong with you, man? Take that shit out of your mouth. How many times I gotta tell you, stop eating that shit, man? What's wrong with your diet, man? I'm trying to, man. 6 weeks, bro. 6 weeks. Damn, bro. Hard, man. It's hard. Keep trying, bro.
If you are even just a large guy, okay? For example, okay? I've never really been that obese, though I was getting up there at one point. I'm 6'5", and I was started at 7. But yet I had women that were, oh, I was expecting more. I can't say I've ever had a girl that said I'm small, at least not in my fully aroused size. Certainly in my flaccid size, absolutely. But proportions matter. If you are 7, but even if you're just Phil Heath, because he has much muscle, because his quads are big from muscle, he's going to proportionally look smaller even if he is big, just because the rest of him is big. I do think proportions matter, and not like who are you, but who are we in general to say who should and should not do. Because if you're insecure about yourself and you want to do something about it, regardless of your starting size, I think that you're entitled to that. I know I said that this was maybe I think I just said this was a good take. I'm going to change it. I'm going to say this is a bad take, okay? It's all love, I get it, but I disagree with this take. Here's one that is really good. I'm gonna pick out a couple of these for time's sake. Building a Hammer says, his third point is jelqing isn't the big bad exercise it's made out to be. As long as you don't apply too much pressure, yeah, you should be fine. It was popular for over a decade for a reason. So, interesting. I think this is a bad take, but I'll tell you why, okay? Once again, guys, all this stuff is reasonable. Thank you for your comments. I'm not trying to throw shade. Far and above, the most common reason why people come to me for injury coaching, patreon.com/DocKink, if you need to talk to me one-on-one, is from jelqing. It's not, I mean, it's not even close, okay? Quite honestly, it's probably jelqing, clamping, manuals, okay? In that order, more or less. But jelqing is one of those techniques that has been around for long. Do I think you can do jelqing safely? I do, but in general, the fact that it's a dynamic exercise. That's what I think makes it different and makes it dangerous, for example. So, for example, if you're stretching, okay, you're stretching out, all right? If you just press and hold, that's much safer than if you're, jerking, okay? That dynamic motion. When you are jelqing and you are having pressure and then constantly moving your hand up and it's a dynamic exercise, I think it's dangerous, okay? So, no, I don't think that that's a good take. I mean, jelqing is dangerous in my opinion. There are people who do it successfully, but I can't tell you how many guys have messaged me, said, hey, Hink, I was jelqing and then I felt a pop and I instantly went soft and I haven't been able to get an erection for 3 months. That's a real thing that happens. I never recommend jelqing. I strongly disagree with jelqing, but I do think it can be done safely. Overall, bad take on that one. Similarly, here's an interesting one. Bundled stretches are a dangerous exercise, which I'm shocked are commonly recommended. You're rotating your dick over 360 degrees by a lot of people and then pulling at the same time. In my opinion, this is much more dangerous than jelqing. So that's interesting because, so if I were to, I mean, I'll be honest, I don't bundled stretch, okay? But that's not true. Sometimes I do, okay? But I will twist maybe 90 degrees and then gradually pull and hold, okay? Once again, in my opinion, that's a static stretch. I guess there are guys who rotate 360 degrees. Yeah, that's insane to do it hardcore. I can put a light twist in there and press and hold. Anything more than that, in my opinion, is dangerous. If you're doing it, I agree, that's a good take, okay? I think that is dangerous. This is gonna be the last one from Reddit, then we're gonna hit some on YouTube, okay? Extra Yogurt's hot take. BD and Perv's recommendations of rest days being beneficial for PE are true. This means you would have gained more gains with less overall work throughout your journey. I actually had to go back and watch BD's video on rest. Dude makes some very strong arguments, guys. If you haven't seen that video, you should check it out, okay? Because he actually breaks down the literature pretty nicely. I think the key with rest days, and this is what I said, it depends on how much work you're doing. If you are using an extender for 2 hours a day and then clamping and then pumping, yes, you need a rest day, duh. But for me, I just don't think, and I've said this before, that if I'm doing a total of 40 minutes of PE a day, that I need more than 23 hours and 20 minutes to recover. Personally, and here is my biggest sticking point is this. I understand that PE takes time. There's all these new theories, there are all these new ideas, which I think are great and wonderful and largely based around science, but I have yet to see any compelling before and afters that actually are giving any kind of, outside of, oh yeah, in theory this works, actual proof or legitimacy to different claims. I can't even think of one right now, but I don't know, any of these kind of new aged things, even this measuring tension. Now, Perf promises me that he has some before and after pictures that are gonna be coming, okay? And I look forward to seeing them because legitimately, if he has before and afters, and it's like, hey guys, this is where I started, this is where I am now, and this is what my routine measuring strain has got me, and he's literally gotten over 2.5 inches now, claims somewhere around that range. Obviously, I'm gonna be, okay, I'm doing this wrong, I'm wasting my time, I need to adjust what I'm doing. Once again, I know what I'm doing, and I know that I've made gains, I continue to make gains. Now that being said, sometimes as many as 4 months off to recover. It's not just about rest time between days, but also taking a break. I think they recommend 1 week off every 3 weeks or something. I certainly don't do that now, but I do go through periods where I take time off. So that's not really a take, so I won't really comment on that. I just kind of answered the question, okay? All right, so here's one from my editor, Callie. He says basically that slow and steady is what wins the race. I agree completely, 100% good take. I guess I shouldn't piss off my editor. He could make me look even dumber.
You bet your sweet ass.
No, it's a good take. You need to be slow, you need to be cautious, you need to be steady. And then number 2, and this I really like, but he said that NoFap is one of the biggest EQ promoters, erection quality promoters. And I definitely agree with that. Guys, if you are suffering from low erection quality, try just stopping masturbating alone and see if that actually fixes it. Because in my experience, after about, honestly, 3 days, my EQ goes even more through the roof. Double good takes, editor. Allie, here's one that I really from YouTube, and I'll finish with this one. But before I do, guys, Vigor back in stock on Amazon. Amazon choice, guys, check it out. Great for erection quality and actually any kind of PE that you're doing. You want something that's gonna help repair the damage. That's exactly what that does, okay? But now for the YouTube comment, okay? Pipette says, PE is the gym. You will forever feel small when you start. Interesting. I'm just gonna leave it as you will forever feel small, okay? First of all, thank you for the comment, algorithm, really appreciate it. I think it's actually kind of a bad take just because I know that there's a lot of guys that have dysmorphia. Personally, I think much of that is related to freaking body habitus. I don't know any thin guys that have gotten bigger and been, oh, I still don't feel big, or oh, here's why I don't look big. No, I mean, I don't know, whatever. You know, once again, I'm great, I'm just amazing, but I'm 6'5", and I've grown a lot, and I look big, unequivocally, in pretty much every shot.
I don't know how to put this, but I'm kind of a big deal.
Sometimes when you see my long gangly legs and you see proportionally, you're like, oh, okay, maybe not, but most angles, most pictures, I'm gonna look big. So no, I mean, and even in the gym, I'm a natural 40-year-old dude. You know, I'm not the biggest dude in the world. I'm doing what I can, but it's when I lift and I'm getting bigger and I'm making progress, I'm not, oh, I'm just a puny little bitch. Oh, dude, you're looking pretty good, man. Good for you. I just think it depends on who you are. I think that if you really have dysmorphia that bad, or if you are really starting out on the unfortunate end of things, so if you go from example, if you start at 5, okay, and you get to 6, that's a whole inch in progress. You should be, man, I feel so much better. Man, I'm much bigger. This is wonderful. You're still just outside of that normal range. If you hook up with a chick and you're looking for her to be, wow, you're huge. I'm sorry, I don't think many girls are gonna be, wow, you're huge at 6 inches of length. Whereas, me, I already started on the big side and then I went to even bigger. It's kind of a different perspective. It's a different scale. I might have said that's a bad take, but I really think it's a neutral take because it depends. It depends on where you start. But in my opinion, if you are seeing growth and you are seeing progress, that should be enough to make you happy. This video is long enough, guys. Love you. I appreciate it. Catch you in the next one.